Hello and welcome to episode 25 of Zero to Hero. Yes, welcome back to episode 25 of Zero to Hero. I'm Wes, and in today's episode we'll be taking on top of the table Yeovil Town and Grimsby Town in League 2. Now we're into the second week of February now in the game, which means we've gone through the January transfer window and we have some transfer news. We've had quite a few players come in. A lot of them were signed because my director of football was signing youth players. So I'll only show you the ones that I have signed. You already knew about Jason Punchin and Adam Federici, who I brought in on free transfer. These next two were signed by my director of football. But I actually managed to confirm the loan signing of Liam Miller, on loan from Coventry. He's a 21-year-old Canadian striker with a 3-star current ability and 5-star potential ability. I actually saw him play against us in the Checkatrade Trophy second round. He scored a hat-trick against us, so I thought maybe he could be a decent player for us. He did pop up on my scout reports, so I thought maybe he might be a good signing. He has made an appearance for us. I think it was as a substitute. He played like the last 20 minutes of a game. He didn't score, but he had an average rating of 6.6, so not too bad. I also managed to sign Jack Earing on a free transfer. He's a 22-year-old English central midfielder, likes to play as a deep line playmaker, which fits the tactic we're now playing. He has a 2-star current ability and a 2.5-star potential ability. He's made a couple of appearances for us. Made 4 appearances and an average rating of 6.90, which isn't too bad, considering he has had some experience at lower level in the Vanarama National North. But this is actually his first chance in League 2. He was at Bolton. They released him at the end of last season. We then managed to sign TJ Ayoma on loan from Liverpool. He's a 21-year-old Nigerian centre-back with a 3.5-star current ability and a 4.5-star potential ability. Like I said, coming on loan from Liverpool. He is formerly of Tottenham. They signed him on a free transfer and then sent him out on loan to us. He's made 4 appearances and an average rating of 6.95 so far. He's been very good for us. We were struggling at the back and he's kind of solved some of those problems. I also managed to sign Korode Adeoyin on loan from Everton, a 20-year-old Nigerian striker, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, likes playing as an advanced forward. We were struggling for strikers. The only striker that was actually scoring goals for us at the time was Barr. So we brought Adio on loan for us. He has spent time in League 2 at Cheltenham a couple of seasons ago, where he's made 13 appearances, scored 2 goals. Not a very good average rating, and also not a very good average rating when he played for Scunthorpe on loan last season. But since he's come to us, he's made 2 appearances, scored 1 goal, 1 assist, and an average rating of 7.05. So he's already looking good for us. Also managed to sign Evandro on a free transfer. 34-year-old Brazilian attacking midfielder, but can also play in the central midfield. I know he's old, but we needed some experience in the midfield. We were struggling for central midfielders as well, especially with the new tactic we're playing. But I say it's a new tactic. It's actually a tactic I've used many times before, but it's a new tactic for Southend. You'll see what I mean later in the episode. He's got a 3.5-star current ability and a 3.5-star potential ability. Judging by his stats, he's very proficient in most areas. His natural fitness is high as well, which is good for us. He's not very quick, but we don't need him to be. We brought him in on a free transfer from Hull, where last season he made 18 appearances, scored 2 goals. 1 assist and average rating of 6.61, but he's been good for them in the Championship in previous seasons as well. They signed him for 2.2 million and let him go on a free. He's made 2 appearances for us, not very good average ratings. Most of those appearances have been as substitutes. Other than that, it's been all the others are youth signings by my director of football. I've let a few players go out on loan. I've let Neil Scott go out on loan to Wealdstone. Butterworth's gone out on loan to Dover. Jack Richardson's gone to our affiliate club, and Victor Johnson is he was our backup keeper before we brought in Federici. I've let him go out on loan to York for the rest of the season, so you won't be seeing him anymore this season. That's it for the transfers. We'll now move on to the results since you were last with me. And form's been better, but still not good. In the last episode, you saw us lose 1-0 to Port Vale and then draw 1-1 at home to Luton. We then managed to follow that up with a 3-3 draw away from home against Notts County. Drew Yearwood with 2 goals for us and Amadou Bar with the goal. We were 3-2 down at the time, and Yearwood scored in stoppage time, 4th minute stoppage time, to rescue a draw for us. But we couldn't keep that run going against Wrexham. We lost 4-1 away from home. Amadou Bar with the only goal for us in the 1st minute. But we then managed to pick up a win against Cheltenham. Now, this was where we brought in the new tactic. And it was 2 goals from Amadou Bar and a goal from Andy Lacey, who I plucked out of our under-23 squad to give him a chance, and he repaid me with a goal on his debut. We then followed that up with a 2-1 away win against Rochdale. Andy Lacey and Amadou Bar both scoring again in that game. And we made it 3 wins on the bounce against Doncaster at home, 3-1. Goals from Adiaduin, Punchian scored a penalty, and Amadou Bar made it 3-1 in stoppage time. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it 4, and in our last game we lost 2-0 away from home against bottom of the table Carlisle. It was 0-0 in the 87th minute, and then Jack Earing gave a penalty away, getting himself sent off in the process for a second bookable offence, and Carlisle managed to score the penalty, and then we pushed on, went into overload, and then in the 5th minute of stoppage time we conceded another penalty, and once again they converted the chance, so we lost 2-0. So as things stand, we are still in the relegation zone. We are 23rd in Sky Bet League 2, but we are only 3 points away from Wickham in 22nd. More concerning though is we're only 1 point ahead of Carlisle in 24th. So we need to be beating the teams in and around us and grabbing some results against the teams higher in the table to try and get out of this relegation zone. So like I said, today we're going to be facing Yeovil, who are top of the table, and Grimsby Town, who are in 8th. I wanted to include Grimsby in an episode because they are my local team. And we'll go on to the tactic for the first match against Yeovil. And as you can see, I've gone for my old faithful formation, the 4-3-1-2, and this is the formation that has turned things around for us, because we were 7 points behind Wickham in 22nd place, and this has managed to claw us back into contention to get out of the relegation zone. So we have gone with a starting 11 of Howard in goal, preferred to Federici. He's played really well since he's come back into the position, and so we're preferring him today. We've gone with a back 4 of Kennedy, Barkworth, Ayoma and Johnson, a midfield of Yearwood, Russell and Evandro, and Puncheon playing in just behind Bart, and I'm going to bring Lacey in for today's game because Adiaduin didn't play well in the last game, so I'm going to bring in Lacey. On the bench we have Federici, Humphreys, James, Adiaduin, Dixon, Driver and Miller. We're going on a control mentality, structured team shape with exploit the middle, look for the overlap, close down more, be more expressive and higher tempo as the team instructions. I decided to go back to the 4-3-1-2 because none of my wingers were playing very well, and I thought, you know what, I'll drop the wingers, we'll play without wingers, and I thought, well, the 4-3-1-2 seemed to be the best option for us because we've got some decent central midfielders now. Some of the ones that were injured have come back, and we've brought in a couple of new guys who have got experience, and it seemed like a good fit. I did sign Evandro as backup for Puncheon, but because of a suspension to earring, he's come into the side in central midfield today. And as things stand, because we're playing at home, we've got a lot more of the possession. We've had more shots on target than Yeovil at the moment, but we need to be careful because they are top of the table for a reason. They've been in good form this season, and we just need to make sure that we take our chances when we get them. Punching with the ball to Russell, to Evandro, to Yearwood, up to Barr, who loses out, but Yearwood wins the ball back, plays it forward to Lacey, back to Yearwood, and he's put us 1-0 up 16 minutes into the game. Assist from Andy Lacey, and it was a well-worked goal. We were passing the ball around really well. Barr lost the ball, but won it back with a great tackle. Yearwood played the ball to Lacey, and he got it back, and it was a great finish from just inside the box. He's been coming up with a few goals since we switched him to a box-to-box midfielder. It is a more preferred position for him, so that may be why he wasn't performing well, because we weren't playing him in his preferred position. Kennedy wins the ball back in defence. Barkworth with the ball to Yearwood, punching now to Kennedy, up to Barr. Where can he get it? He plays it to Evandro, to Russell, to punching. Again, passing it around really well. Barr to Lacey, and Lacey's put us 2-0 up. 21 minutes in, an assist from Amadou Barr there. Our two strikers combining. Just some great short passing play in the midfield. And then, like I say, a good ball through from Barr and Lacey with a great finish. And we're 2-0 up against top of the table Yeovil. And a couple of episodes ago, we'd have thought that was impossible. But we seem to be playing out of our skin at the moment with this new formation. Although this win won't see us out of the relegation zone, because Wycombe are still drawing their game against Crewe. So we need Crewe to do us a favour. They're in 10th position at the moment. So, yeah, we need them to do us a favour. But Wycombe have just gone 1-0 up, as I say that. And that puts us 2 points away from or only 1 point away from the relegation zone now, because Doncaster have dropped down because they've gone 1-0 down. So as long as we stay within 1 point or two of the teams above us, we can get out quite quickly, hopefully. We've gone in at half-time 2-0 up, and we're just playing really, really well at the moment. Yeovil haven't really had much of a chance at our goal in the highlights. And as I say that, they've gone and got a goal back 10 seconds into the second half. Unfortunately, Aoma's clearance hit the back of Russell, which then kind of gifted possession to Yeovil, and they managed to score. But we're still ahead, which is good. We've had 13 shots and 5 on target, and we've got most of the possession now, so we're doing really, really well. Yearwood on a 8.2 at the moment. Lacey on a 7.6, despite a goal and an assist. Kennedy not having a very good game in defence. We have got Dixon on the bench, so we could bring him on later, but I think we've just been awarded a penalty. Punchin will take it. He scored one for us in one of the earlier games, and he scored this one. He restores our 2-goal advantage 58 minutes into the game. That's his second goal of the season for us. And it's things like this that we signed Punchin for. He's very good with set pieces and penalties, and we need to make the most of those, being so low down in the table. Evandro with the corner to Lacey, and Punchin puts it wide. It's about time I made some substitutions, I think, the assistant suggested. I'm going to keep us on control for now. I'm going to bring off Kennedy because he's not having a very good game, and we're going to bring on Paul Dixon for him. Dixon prefers to play as a defensive fullback, so we'll switch him to that. We'll also switch Johnson to a defensive fullback. Or in fact, we'll put him as a fullback on defend, just so we can hold this lead we've got now. Other than that, I'm not going to make any more changes. We're going to stay on control and structured, just so that we're not inviting too much pressure onto ourselves. We've had 18 shots and 6 of those have been on target. So we are being quite wasteful with our shots. But if you keep shooting, eventually you're going to score. We're 75 minutes in, still 2 goals ahead. And I'm going to make another substitution just to keep some fresh legs on the pitch. Evandro's going to come off, and we're going to bring on We're going to bring on Humphreys. We're going to drop him back into the defence. And then we're going to move Russell across like that. And we're going to go with a 5-3-2 for the last 15 minutes of the game. I have been doing this in previous games just to try and see the game out. Just keep us steady at the back. And I'm going to bring on Liam Miller for Amadou Ba. Give him a run out alongside Lacey. We're going to stick with control and structured because, like I said, we don't want to invite too much pressure onto ourselves. We are winning and we want to keep it that way. And that will leave us level on points with Wycombe as things stand, because they've just gone 2-1 down to Cheltenham, I believe. Oh no, Crewe. Sorry, it's Crewe. So that means if we can pick up a win in our next game against Grimsby Town, we will climb out of the relegation zone depending on Wycombe's result in the next game. And it's full time. We've beaten top of the table Yeovil 3-1 at home. Great performances from all the players today. Okay, so we're ready for our next game against Grimsby Town at home. No changes to the starting 11. Why would we? We've just beaten top of the table Yeovil. So it's the same starting 11. The only difference is Jack Earing is no longer suspended. So he makes his way onto the bench in place of Andrew Driver. Same mentality, same team instructions, same team shape, and hopefully same result. Looks like Grimsby are going with a 4-2-3-1, but with defensive midfielders, and there's a massive, massive gap where my three will sit in there, and that's where we're going to probably end up winning this game. We are favourites for this game, which is strange considering Grimsby are 7th in the table, but they did draw their last game against Carlisle, who are below us in the table, so maybe they're on a bit of a downward turn. We do need to win, and we need to hope that Wycombe fail to win, and then we will, for the first time since I took over at Southend, be outside of the relegation zone. They're playing Cambridge at home. Cambridge are above them in 17th. So hopefully we can get the win, or even if they lose and we draw, we'll go above them by a point. But as I say that, they've gone 1-0 up, and then Cambridge have instantly equalised. Oh no, we're still 2 points behind them, so we need them to go behind. Russell with the ball, loses out, and now we're defending. Aoma with the tackle and a good save from Howard, picking up the cross. Now can we break back at them? Barr with the ball, loses out. Barkworth wins it back. Russell back to Barr, to Punchin. Plays it out to Kennedy. Kennedy with the cross, can't find Lacey. Evandro picks up loose ball to Johnson, crosses it into Barr. And at the second attempt, Amadou Ba has put us 1-0 up. 28 minutes into the game. It was pinging around in that penalty area. Evandro picked up the loose ball, played it out to Johnson, who got a first-time cross in, and I think Barr headed it against the bar, and then headed it in afterwards. So it pinged about a bit of good fortune about that, and we're on 37 points from 34 games, level on points with Wycombe just above us. So we need Cambridge to do us a favour. Lacey not having a very good game at the moment on a 6.4, neither is Punchin. We've gone in at half-time 1-0 up, and we need more of the same. We just need a few improvements from Lacey and from Punchin. Wycombe still only 1-0 up against Cambridge. Cambridge need to get an equaliser for us to come out of the relegation zone at the end of this episode. Oh, Howard just dropped the ball, and that left Harry Cardwell to score the equaliser. Big mistake from Howard. It's the only mistake he's really made since coming back into the side. He should have been all over that, but he dropped it straight into the path of Cardwell. Unfortunate. We've had 12 shots so far. We've got the corner. Evandro with the corner, and Russell puts it wide after the nod on. 60 minutes in now. We've got another highlight. Evandro to Punchin, to Lacey, back to Evandro. Johnson out on the wing, can't find a cross. Ioma picks up the ball in defence. Yearwood with the ball now to Barr. Barr back to Evandro. To Russell, to Lacey, out to Johnson. Johnson with the cross, can't find anybody, and Evandro blazes it over. from just outside the box, and I think we're going to be making some changes now. Punchin's going to be coming off. We're going to push Evandro forward into the Ngache role. We're going to bring off Punchin for Jack Earring, and we are going to bring on Adio in for Lacey, who's on a yellow card and not having a very good game. We're going to play him as the advanced forward on attack, his preferred position. Kennedy not having a very good game again. We'll leave him on for now though and see if he can improve. If not, we still have Dixon on the bench. We've had 14 shots and 5 on target to Grimsby's 4. Their only shot on target was the goal from Cardwell, and that was only because we gifted it to him. 70 minutes in, a throw in from Kennedy to Barr. Russell with the ball now, Earring to Barr, and Barr's put us 2-1 up from just inside the box. A very strange angle there, but a fantastic finish from him by the looks of things. Barr played it to Yearwood, who flicked it on to Russell. He played it to Earring. Earring then played it back to Barr and hit it first time. Great finish. Wycombe have gone 2-0 up against Cambridge, so I don't think we'll be coming out of the relegation zone today. But hopefully by the time we get to the next episode, we will be clear of that relegation zone. Right, I think Kennedy has made an improvement, but not enough of an improvement. So he's going to be coming off, and we're going to bring on Dixon for him. We're going to play Dixon as the defensive fullback, like he likes to play. We're going to switch Johnson to the defensive fullback role, and just like we did in the last game, and try and see this one out. We've got 10 minutes left. All 3 substitutes made. We just need to make sure that our defenders who are booked don't concede penalty, don't give fouls away and don't get sent off, because we have committed a lot of fouls today. We've had 19 shots and 7 on target, so we're still being quite wasteful with our shooting. And I just noticed on the little updates bar at the top that we've moved up to 22nd. We've moved up to 21st. What's gone on? I need to have a look. But we're just about to close out the game. Ioma with the ball at the back, plays it forward, and the whistle's going to go anytime soon. But Barr's just put us 3-1 up. And second goal for him today. Evandro with the assist, and that's moved us up to 20th. There must have been a terrible collapse from Wycombe and a few other teams for us to climb that high. It was a good through ball from Evandro. Barr with the simple finish. And it looks like we're going to win 3-1 again. And we've moved out of the relegation zone. That was a hat-trick from Amadou Barr today. Quite rightly winning man of the match. We've got quite a few bookings in that game, so we need to keep an eye on that. But that's fantastic. Not only did we win both games in an episode for the first time since joining Southend, we've also moved well clear of the relegation zone. Wycombe must have drawn. Now let's have a look at these results. Wycombe did draw 2-2 with Cambridge. Cambridge coming back into it in the last 20 minutes of the game, last 10 minutes of the game even. And we've gone above Doncaster and Woking as well, who must have both lost. Woking lost 3-2 to Crewe, and Doncaster drew 1-1 with Forest Green. So finally we're out of the relegation zone. We're on 37 points from 34 games. We'll have a look, see where we're going to come back. We're getting towards the end of the season now. I think we'll have a couple of games in the middle, maybe Bristol Rovers and Lincoln, or maybe Lincoln and Stevenage. That'd be a good one. We'll do Lincoln and Stevenage, and then we'll go all the way to the end of the season and show you the last 2 games of the season. If you enjoyed that, please give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button. Please like and subscribe for more Football Manager 18 content. And remember, follow me on Twitter and on Facebook, both at WeaselGamer TV. And thank you very much for watching.